This conversation is taking place at Hagley Museum and Library.
We're talking today with Pete Pont, former two-term governor of Delaware, former U.S. House member from Delaware, and a former state legislator. He's an engineer and an attorney by training, and worked for the family business for a while. Why did you decide to leave the private sector for public life?
I'd been, 8 years in the DuPont company. I'm an engineer, a law degree also, so it was all fitting very nicely. But somehow when you watch the whole country change and you say there's going to be a new legislature, not only across America, but here in Delaware, you kind of get into it. And I'd been doing some work for the party in the Brandywine 100 area, so it all fell together.
I recall a while back, probably when you were governor, that you didn't enjoy your time in the U.S. House of Representatives. Why was that?
Well, we Republicans were a tiny group compared to the Democrats who controlled everything. And you know, when you come in as a freshman congressman, your Republican or Democrat leaders say to you, "Just be quiet. We'll tell you how to vote. We'll tell you what to do." So it's a little frustrating. And it got better as you went on. You got an extra staff person to do this and that. But still, you know, being governor is the best political job there is, because you can actually sign papers and change things and get the arguments going.
Well, to follow on that, in your first term as governor, you faced significant challenges, both economic and political, and a lot of political infighting. In fact, you vetoed the budget that the General Assembly passed, and then it overrode your veto. Then what happened?
It looked to me like it was going to be a serious deficit, and we'd had 5 or 6 deficits in the previous 2 governors, and we had to get back on track, particularly in my first year in office. So we looked at it and decided that it wasn't going to do well. In the end, the legislators and the Democrats were right. The budget did balance, but how much did it balance? By $100,000, and that's 0.0002%. So they were very nervous that they'd been that close. I didn't like the fact that it hadn't worked out, so we got together and began to change things.
Here in Delaware, you know, Republicans and Democrats seem to be able to get along. You know, for a time there, the Republicans controlled the House of Representatives, the Democrats the Senate, and the governorship went back and forth. But we didn't have very many stalemates. They got along and worked together. Why doesn't that happen elsewhere?
Well, I don't know why it doesn't happen elsewhere, except it's something that started happening so long ago that it all became part of it. And if you talk to some of the people who were legislators back then, Lonnie George, for example, he'll tell you the big changes that actually came to pass and that they're still impacting. I mean, the constitutional amendments still matter. We still have DFAC. We really got the right kind of thinking about it. And it's kind of been drifting along, but we got to get more businesses here. You know, the banks were all here, but over time that has not had the expansion it once had. So we've got to start some different thinking.
Thank you, Governor.
Thank you.
Stay connected at Content Delaware.